What's up, Brandon? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
It's been a while since we've done an office talk.
I know, first one of 2024.
I'm actually excited because we have them on the calendar now.
Right.
So was it every third Monday or something like that?
Yeah.
So looking forward to it.
Excited for more office talks.
I'm excited for more office.
I know, our brand new office.
Yep. For those of us, for people that don't know, we bought the building at 740 South Florida Avenue. So
Got coffee shops nearby, easy access to everything.
that's right. So it's exciting. Love the space, love the feel. It's a work in progress, but we'll get there. I mean, trying to move a whole office in a month during the holidays
Kudos to you.
is a lot. Normally you have 6-8 months to make a move like that,
Right.
and get everything the way you need it, and then everybody just moves in and it's nice and turnkey ready, but it's been a little hectic, but it's growth.
Not this one. Yeah. I'm excited about the space. I think there's a lot of opportunity that we have here, and I think it looks beautiful.
Yeah, and for me, going into 2024, you hear a lot of naysayers about the real estate market and what's happening in the real estate industry. It makes me feel really confident in our company, specifically the Lakeland office, that Dewey and Allen would invest the amount of money going into 2024 by purchasing a building and upgrading it, going forward. So the leadership, with Casey included, has a lot of confidence in us and the agents and what we're wanting to accomplish in 2024.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what I've liked that I've seen with the leadership is that how hands-on they are with even how big of a company we are. Like, it's not often that you see the owners and how easily they are to communicate with and talk to, even just as agents.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we've been looking for an office for a while, which everybody in our office knows.
Yeah.
2 years. And there wasn't a single time where I called Dewey, Allen, or Casey, or all of them and said, "Hey guys, there's an office." I think we literally looked at everything that was for sale or for lease in the centralized area. I mean, we literally left no stone unturned. So, it worked out the way it is, and we're in a great spot. Yeah. Great parking in a downtown area. That is, you can't put a price on. A lot of parking. So we're looking forward to that and working with the CRA. Hopefully we'll get a mural on the building and stuff like that. So
any people who know muralists out there, let us know.
That's right. So moving forward to 2024, one of my goals for the office is kind of like all gas, no brakes. Right? Yeah. You look at the industry magazines or the articles or the blogs or whatever, and not a lot of people have a great positive outlook because of the economy and real estate where it's headed. But when you look at it, on average there's approximately 5 million homes sold every single year, right? So it doesn't matter if the rates are high, the rates are low, the economy's great, not great. People need to move, right? So when you go sit down on a listing appointment and say it's a divorce, they say, well, we want to get divorced, but we got to wait for the rates to go down. It doesn't. There's still moves. So the family just found out they're having twins and they're in a 2-bed, 1-bath condo. Right. The rates aren't that big of a deal for them. So life changes and opportunities happen, and you get to create the market that you want. So what are some of your plans in 2024 to grow from what you did last year to this year?
Yeah, I mean, well, honestly, I'm really excited for 2024. So the word of the year that I've given myself, or the words of the year, is just laying foundations.
Right.
So I quickly realized in 2023, I had the best year that I've ever had in sales. Right. But as I got busier, I realized I didn't have any of the systems that I needed to really be successful. I hired my first assistant, so we've been kind of transitioning. Thank you.
That's a big leap.
Yeah, it's huge. And so how do I train her? What does her job responsibilities look like compared to mine? So for 2024, my whole focus is laying the foundation. So I hired a real estate coach to help alongside of me with everything that you've been saying, to have just extreme accountability in what I've been doing. And right now the whole focus is, what are the systems to my business? How can I grow? Because I want to scale my business and I want to have a team. So what does that look like? So it's really just being strategic about just breaking everything down and how to run my business like a business. Because I've never had any experience of like running a business, but now I'm getting that very hands-on. Okay, if I want to grow, like if I'm bringing on a buyer, how do I intake that buyer? How do I take that buyer through the process of finding a home, getting pre-approval, going through the whole transaction system? So I'm actually detailing every single step of that, so I can start tracking everything and seeing what
tracking is important, and then so they can have the same level of customer service,
right?
No matter where you're at in the transaction. So one of the things that that makes me proud to work with you is he came with 2 years ago or whenever it was like, okay, I need to make money. How do I get there, right? So we laid out a plan, and you did and then you're there, right? Now it's like, okay, now I know that I can do the work. Now it's like, okay, well, how do I? Because there's only one of me or one of you, and so many hours in the day. So how do I take those systems that we have in place, like KV Core or hire an assistant, so it allows me to work on the more like the P time, right? The dollar act, because when you're ramping up and you get to the level you're at, you're kind of wearing all the hats, right? And then you get to the point where now you're actually running a business, and you're like, okay, well, I can invest money into these other things that are important, but they're not your highest and best use. So now you're there, and it's great to see that that level of commitment to your business to invest in it, because if you invest in it, you're going to get some return. And I think a lot of agents don't, they just start spending money on these things and whatever. And, well, if you're going to spend say $1,000 on something, well, what's my return on investment? Not like, well, somebody said I should get this or I should be doing this. Like, okay, that's great. Maybe it is or isn't for me. So and it's fun to watch you, like, okay, these things work or don't work, because it's not just a one size fits all.
Well, I went through the whole gamut when I first started. I was like, social media, everything. Like, I gotta be on social media if I'm doing anything on social media. And then I quickly realized, well, I'm not getting business from social media because I'm not doing it appropriately. And in order to do it appropriately, it's way more intensive of a process than just picking up the phone or cold calling. It's a whole prospecting thing. So I think one of the things that also realtors don't do, and something that I don't do, is take the time to understand what my own strengths and weaknesses are. Because some realtors are really good at systems. Some realtors are just really good people. Like, they're a people person. And I quickly realized I'm very much a people person. I have like a big vision, but I'm horrible at executing. Like, I'm not an executor. I'm not the person who wants to do all the grunt work. But when you're starting out, you have to do that. So that's been a learning thing as I'm growing. Is like, what am I good at? What am I not good at? And so who do I need to put in place to oversee my weaknesses? Yeah, and for you, coming from my perspective, that watching you do that self-realization about that, because there's a lot of times there's other coaches or real estate companies that say, okay, you've hit this level, now you need to form a team, or you need to do this, or you need to do that. Like, well, that necessarily doesn't work for everybody. So to know where you excel and where your weakness is helps, because now you're building, like you said, the foundations for your business, which might not be able to be duplicated for the next agent. I mean, I could take 10 top producers and stick them in a room and say, what did you do? What did you do? What did you do? I can say that they all have their systems, but how they approach it and how they implement it's going to be different. Right? Everybody kind of has a niche in a way, and every system is going to be good, bad, or indifferent. I always say, people ask me, what system is the best, right? We have KV Core, which I think is fantastic. The more I dig into it, the more and more robust it is. But I say the system that you're going to use is the best, right? I know agents that still use Rolodexes, and they do great, right? And there's other agents that are geniuses with Excel, and they do great. But I can't say, well, Brandon's great with Excel. You agent that's using the Rolodexes, you start doing that because it works for him. It just we get stuck in analysis paralysis, where if you talk to any top producing person or any great leader, the thing they'll always say is like, just try something. And it's through that process of trial and error that you get to where you need to be. But that's one thing I've really learned, like diving into KV Core, is that it's a new system for us all. But as I'm diving into it, it's like, oh, I see the strengths, I see the weaknesses, but I wouldn't have known what the system can do until I just started using it. And now I'm using it. It's like you just use something. Eventually down the road, you'll come to realize maybe this isn't the thing. But now you have the information and the knowledge to transition or to keep going. And I think that's something that every realtor, I think, should do, is just whatever it is, just try it.
Take the leap. And yeah, I see that a lot. And they just, well, I can't go, I can't go do my live real estate reviews because my website's not perfect yet. Like, look, just go do them. Everything, it's kind of like our office right now. Like, it's not perfect. Let's just work. You know, we'll work around it as long as we see progress. Some weeks are better than others, and some days are better than others. But as long as there's a progress every day, and that compounds, and then it gets better and better and better. That's why I'm looking forward to 2024. We're switching to weekly office meetings and a lot more trainings and a lot more professionals coming in to teach you guys. So while everybody's either, you know, downsizing or they're trying to change their business, we're looking to capitalize and grow. Professional brokerage like ours and professional agents like ours do better in a shifting down, up, whatever market you want to call it, because they're the professionals that do it day in and day out. And I'm here, you know, we're going to pour in more to the agents than we ever have this year. For the first time in my life, I have like the whole year of office meetings planned out. I send out meeting makers to agents. That's huge for me. I've never done that. Maybe a month. So we're looking forward to that. We actually, I just spoke to Tabitha with Capstone Title. It's a leap year, so the 29th of February, we're bringing in somebody to talk to us about wills, probates, and trusts.
That's huge.
Which is going to build on our investment from Florida Fiduciary. He's coming in to teach you guys with investments and things like that. And then prior to that, we have David Dick with tax strategy. So to build on those foundations that help not only sell real estate, is to create a better life and a better plan for your families.
Well, it all works hand in hand. So I didn't know anything about finances. I didn't know anything about how to like do taxes or structure my business or anything like that. So it's been really helpful being with a company who does like the CEO workshops, and we have people like David who come in saying, this is how you should be structuring your business for the long term. This is how you can protect your wealth. This is how you can grow and build outside of just being a real estate agent, which has helped immensely. And I think the education coming in for 2024 is going to be really pivotal, because I think 2024 is going to be it's going to be a big transitional year.
I think it'll shake the trees, or lack of a better term, of the agents that are here to do it professionally. And not, oh, I like real estate, I like houses, and and I heard you can make a lot of money or whatever. I think this year is the one that's going to kind of flush out some of the weekend warriors or the agents that thought they wanted to be in real estate. It's not for everybody, right? And I think for the not for everybody's are going to figure that out this year.
I think the question is going to be is, are you as an agent or broker ready to pivot? Whether or not we're about to go to another bull run, which I feel like a lot of people feel we might be going into a bull run like 2021, 2022 to capture a market. Or on the flip end, are you prepared to completely transition your business depending if the market goes? Either goes away. And I firmly believe we're in a position now with all the training and stuff that we're going in, that no matter what the market is, we'll be successful agents.
I think right now the mindset should be prepare for the worst and hope for the best. If you have a business plan and a game plan to say, hey, look, if the market shifts in a non-favorable way, but you're prepared for it, because disruption only disrupts the unprepared. And you're working it, and you got a hyper-focused business plan, but then it turns into a bull run. Well, then you're just going to grab more market share because you were prepared. You weren't waiting for it to come to you. You were going to go out and get it. And that's why I'm excited about 2024. Is that's the mentality. That's our approach to it. And I think if you have that approach, you'll do fine. A lot of the coming out of the COVID era, especially in Florida, that a lot of things worked because the market allowed it. Rising tides floats all ships. So if you were doing this, that, anything else in between, you're going to see some type of momentum on it. Now, the tried and true, the foundational business practices will work. I can't guarantee that some of the other fancy, shiny new objects will or won't. But there are things that are mathematically proven, and having a business plan in your book of business, that does work. We know that. So going into 2024, what do you have any tips or any advice for, say, new real estate agents or agents like yourself that hit that level where you're successful, you can say, look, I'm making a living supporting my family. I'm building a brand new house. I'm doing well in real estate. So for the new agents and for those agents that are maybe right there that are afraid to make that leap or take a deeper dive, what would you suggest?
I think for newer agents is think long term, don't think short term. You see a lot of new agents that get into it, especially with the big market that we just came out of. Like everything just happened so fast, right? And you got business no matter what. But now we're in a transition of you really have to start thinking about the fundamentals.
Right.
And you talked about when I got into real estate in 2018, everyone's like, well, fundamentals, like, well, what is that?
Right.
I was like, well, it's doing consistent tasks every single day to reach your goals. What are your numbers? So really start building out a business plan and think long term. If you're a brand new real estate agent thinking like, my business isn't really going to take off until year 3. So within the year 1, year 2, year 3, how can you be consistent with building those relationships, building out your sphere of influence, and just be consistent and think long term. With those who have really made it to their year 3, year 4, year 5, or they just came out being really, really successful, I think the mentality should be, how do you maintain your wealth? How do you maintain now a life that's going to sustain you in the event that anything happens? Are you paying yourself a salary every single month that is consistent? Are you doing your taxes appropriately? Are you investing in real estate? What's your retirement plan look like? So now I think that's more of structuring your business as a business to maintain either that level or to start building out for like either long-term growth or if you want to build a team. So I just see a lot of agents, maybe they're in year 5, year 6, and they're still struggling. It's still a paycheck to paycheck, or commission check to commission check, versus now I'm in a position where my business it's nice enough where I don't have to worry about the commission check. There's still a point in time where like, oh wait, I don't have any closings, but now it's I know what my monthly numbers are. I know what I need to bring in to make sure that my family's still taken care of. So to me, it's more about how do I create that protection for the income that I have, without having to worry about having like that commission. So like, what are you doing to structure your business in that way? And are you thinking more on not just a transaction to transaction, but now you're thinking on more, how do I maintain my standard of living as a holistic picture?
Yeah, and for me, what I would tell agents, new, experienced, or whatever, sit down with somebody like myself, a broker that has strategies and plans, and you have to give it 90 days, right? It's like anything else. Everybody, it's January dieting, so you're not really going to see those results for 90 days. So find a plan, put the blinders on. I don't care what anybody else is doing, and work your plan. And you did that, right? And then you're like, oh, well, it works, right? Sometimes you got to pull yourself back in because this way. But if you stay focused on your plan, it will work. I see a lot of agents and they don't work their plan. Like I can see it. They could be great agents. They have all the right ingredients, but they don't work the plan because they want. A lot of people want more instant satisfaction, and they need sales now, or whatever the reason is. And so I want to say, don't complain about the results you have for the work you didn't do, right? And you got to put in the work. So in 2024, get a plan every 90 days. I just read a book, the 12-week year. So every 12 weeks, it's a whole year. So instead of trying to say January 1, I want to be here by December 31st. Well, do it in 12 weeks. Do it in 90 days. Because if you want to know why your business is good in real estate today, you look back, or bad, you look back 90 days. So for anybody out there, work a plan, give it at least 90 days. A genuine, honest approach to it, not like I'm on a plan and I kind of do it here and there. Anything else, if you want to lose weight, you want to get smarter, you want to save money, it doesn't happen overnight. None of it does. So give it at least 90 days, see what the results are. And the nice thing is if you give it 90 days, you don't have to throw the whole thing in the trash. You'll find out where your strengths and weaknesses are, and then so you just kind of tweak it here and there, right? And every 90 days, it's a new approach, and you'll do fine. Anybody will do fine.
And I think those who want to get into real estate, and even just the general public, it's like real estate is not easy.
No.
And people just see all the fun posts like, we closed on a house, we have the fun little videos, and this is great. And there's so many people that come up to me, they're like, oh, like real estate's easy, I'll just like get my license. And I'm like, no, this is probably the hardest job I have ever had. The amount of hours you have to work potentially, like it's incredibly difficult. So for those who want to get into it, just understand that it's not.
No matter what anybody, if it were easy, there was a statistic about, I think in 2023, 70% of the realtors hadn't closed on one transaction. Mm-hmm. So tell me that's easy, right? It's not. Yeah. I think it's simple. The basic foundational principles are simple, but it's like running a marathon. Yeah. It's very simple, it's just one foot in front of the other. But for training for it, it's just running. But that is very difficult, right? And then, but how do you do it? You train every day. Every day you get better and better and better. And I think people lose sight of what it takes to actually put your nose down, work your plan. Don't care what anybody else is saying, what they're saying on Facebook or social media. Work your plan, you'll be fine. Mm-hmm. So yeah. Well, here's to a great 2024.
It's gonna be amazing.
Look forward to more of these.
Yes, sir.
All right.